This message is transforming lives and organisations from the inside out, person by person and cell by living cell. Remember, you can change your DNA.
Let's go from grassroots just quickly. How did the book come about? Because you talked about in a park somewhere, writing things down.
Well, the park was the attempt to try and get it together, the thoughts. What I found is in organisations of profitable kinds or even non-profitable kinds, there was lots of misinformation and miscommunication. And those two elements, more than anything else, would totally corrupt where that company or organisation wanted to head. And so I was getting frustrated as a trainer and a speaker who was often hired to go in and motivate or do something, and it wasn't changing. Nothing was changing. They changed for a little bit, the change wouldn't stay. So I decided to start really digging in and researching how do you effectively get real change inside an organisation. And it's got to obviously start with individuals. It can't be just on a mission statement on a wall or something that we write because it sounds good at the time. It's got to start in the belief system of the organisation. So to find out what the belief system needs to be, you've got to find out what it is now and find out where the gaps are. So that's where I first started. Where are the gaps in what people believe now compared to where they want to go? And often their beliefs were going in direct opposition to where they thought they wanted to go. So then you had to create an experience, and that's where I'd like to talk about one particular story. I was taking a company away. We're on the mountains outside of Coffs Harbour. It was in a beautiful area near the Nimboida River, and there was this one particular lady. She was a senior executive in this company, and she was abseiling down about 150 foot, and I was on one end of the belay, and somebody from her work was on the other end, and of course our instructors were there to make sure no one fell unless they wanted them to. But, we made sure that they were safe. And this lady started crying in the middle of the abseil. And when we got around the campfire that night, I said, what was going on in your mind? And she said, I saw my picture of my life flash before me, not because I thought I was going to die, but she said, I saw how my beliefs were ruining where this organisation's going. And I said, really?
In the middle of a rock face.
Yeah, that hit me, that the experience of that is what was changing her belief system. So I came back from that camp thinking, well, that's what we've got to create, and that's where this book's got to. So it's been 15, 20, 30 years of research with hundreds, and I don't want to say it exaggeratingly, but thousands of people have had their beliefs change. And some of those people are sitting here tonight, and we might talk about them a bit later. So that's where this came from, real people on real rock faces, and that was a metaphor, but we did it deliberately because that was a metaphor for where their business was at or where their life was at within that business.